What are your thoughts around PMI becoming involved in the Agile space?
Project management is an absolutely fundamental skill set. Every project needs project guidance, whether we call it project management, project guidance, project leadership, something to help the team keep focused on the right direction. So why not? There are some very, very good practices in the project management space. Not all of them are applicable necessarily on an agile project, but I don't believe that the PMI is trying to be prescriptive. So I'm actually quite comfortable with the idea, because as agile becomes much more the accepted way of working, we've also got to fit in with broader programs of work and portfolio management and all of these things that the agile community is to a certain extent ignored. And we have to work in those sorts of organizations.
What are your thoughts regarding defining a set of good practices for the Agile certified practitioner?
All of our practices should be evolutionary. They should be allowed to evolve and change over time. But there are a lot of good, well understood practices that we can start applying. And hey, when we teach somebody to do something, we're normally giving them a piece of paper that just says, this is how you do it. Why should we object if a body like the PMI or the IIBA or any of these other community organizations try and pull some good ideas together? So I think it's actually quite good. Again, I would want it not to be prescriptive that this here is the gospel according to PMI and this is the only way that you do agile. There's the context for your project has got to be the thing that drives the set of practices. But those practices are pretty well understood, can be fairly well defined. So let's write them down. Let's it's not that we're a community that shares knowledge by whispering into each other's ears. Let's write it down and get it out there.
What trends are you noticing in the Agile community?
Agile becoming more mature. We've gone, Agile as a brand is 10 years old. Agilists, some of them have been acting like teenagers for a while. It's time we got over that, and I'm starting to see that the agile practices, the agile techniques, the agile mindset fits in bigger, more complex, larger organizations, tougher projects. That it's just the way of working, and I'm seeing, I would say a level of maturity. So it's not throwing out everything. I'm going to be talking tomorrow, and one of the key themes for Steve Adolph's and my talk is don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. There's a lot of good stuff that's been around for a long time. Sure, there's some stuff that doesn't work well on software projects or on specific types of projects. Well, then don't do that stuff. But do the stuff that works. And that maturity, I think, is starting to happen.
As Agile software development crosses the chasm, what are the major challenges you see facing the community over the next couple of years?
I think it's related to that maturing, playing nicely in the bigger sandpit. We can't throw our toys out the cot and say, I'm doing this little XP thing here and I'm all on my own, leave me alone, and throw a tantrum. Well, we're actually got to, as a community, collaborate in that bigger space. I'm working with organizations who, and one of them, 4,500 people in their IT shop, gone fully agile, now moving that out into 16,000 business departments and groups. How do we help those organizations make the cultural transition that agile is about? Because by making those cultural transitions, what you get is hyper productivity across the whole organization. So you're starting to see bigger and better and huge benefits from taking agile outside of the small IT shop or a team within the IT shop. We're becoming, these practices apply in the whole community. and in the whole of our organisations. Now, is it happening fast? No, but it's certainly happening. There are companies that I'm working with in Australia and New Zealand where we're seeing it happen, and I'm sure we're not alone in that. Yeah, we like to think that in that part of the world we're ahead, but we're not alone.
What are your hopes and wishes for the future of the Agile community?
That as Agile becomes much more, dare we say, mainstream, as it becomes the way of working, that we don't lose the passion. The culture that drives us is hugely important. I talk a lot when I'm working with teams and training people and doing conference sessions about Agile is a culture, it's not a methodology, it's a way of thinking. And the passion that we see, talking to people at this conference, for instance, we will talk to strangers at this conference, and you'll share things. In a lot of other conferences, you don't see that. You see the knowledge is power, and I've come along to learn something, to grab it from you. Well, here, I don't want to just learn, I want to share. And I want to see that continue. And it's almost a revolution in the way of work. I love the concept that Scrum has, and I'm not a Scrum trainer, but of improving the world of work. And it goes beyond IT, it goes beyond the technology. It is about, making work not suck. I've been incredibly fortunate. I love my job. My career has been my hobby. I get up in the morning and I'm excited about work. I want to share that with thousands of other people. I want everyone who's working on a project, working on a team, to be able to have that passion for what they do.